Welcome to our farm here in central Portugal where I've been picking some cherries, and today I'm going to show you how to preserve these cherries with just a little bit of sugar. So now we're back inside and I have all of our lovely cherries. I say all, it's about an eighth of one tree and we have another 3 trees yet to pick, but you know, some cherries. And I have some jars ready. I probably am going to need more, but I'm just going to do 3 for now. And the first thing that we need is a large pot of water, something wide that can fit the jars. And we're also going to need another pot to boil up our sugar liquid. And I'm going to use my jar to measure. So half a jar of water can be moved into the other pot. And I'm just estimating it's probably going to be a little bit less than half a jar, but it's just for measurement's sake, because I'll do half a jar of water and 1 tablespoon of sugar per each jar. And with our larger pot, now we want to soak our jars in the pot and also the lids. If you have a canning machine or jar machine, whatever, you can use this. But this is just as easy. Just shove them all in and bring it to the boil with the jars inside. And if they're not all submerged, that's fine. We can turn them around halfway to make sure, but the steam should clean them anyway. Let's pop these on the cooker and then we'll make our syrup. Let's pop the gas on full and we'll just let them bubble away for a few minutes. And in the meantime, let's make our sugar syrup for the jarred cherries. Now, we can't really call this a simple syrup or a sugar syrup because there's just a tiny little amount of sugar in here. But when we boil the cherries in the pan, we're going to make sure there's no bacteria and they will still be preserved. Now we'll just pop our 3 tablespoons of sugar and we'll set that to boil as well. What we need to do now is just make sure that we have all the stems out of the cherries. Now you can de-seed the cherries, it's much quicker obviously if you don't, and I prefer just to take the stone out when you're going to use them. It just saves so much time. So take out any bad ones, make sure there's no like wormholes or anything like that, and just make sure they're all beautiful and have the stalks removed. And then we're just going to give them a quick rinse under the tap and pop them in the jars. Tip your jars upside down gently and then with a cloth you will be able to lift them on up. Now you know that your jars are spotlessly clean, we can fill them up with the cherries. By now our sugar is completely evaporated, and now we're going to take it and pour it over the cherries. Fill it right to the top so they are all preserved well. And the juice has done precisely exactly the 3 jars. So that half jar measure with 1 tablespoon of sugar is perfect. Now we're going to move these cherries back into the boiling pan, and that's just going to finish off the canning process and make sure there's no bacteria in there so we can save them for as long as possible. Now we're just going to leave them like this for around 5 minutes. And then I'm going to push the lids on and allow them to sit in room temperature until completely cooled. Now I'm just going to scoop out the lids and they will be done. They've been boiling for a few minutes and it just makes sure there's no bacteria or anything left on those cherries. We don't want to leave them too long because we don't want them to be too soft. And then we are just going to push the lids on as tight It's always good if you have to push the fruit down a little bit because that just makes sure the liquid comes up and they're all completely submerged. Now I'm going to turn the heat off. I'm going to leave them to cool at room temperature. Then you can store them in your dry cupboard, and once you open them, put them in the refrigerator and use within 2 weeks. And that's it. You can enjoy these little beauties on ice cream, desserts, fruit salads, however you please. And just remember, if you've left the pip in, to let people know. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up and join us next time on the farm.